Italy tour was incredible. It was life-changing. It really showed me that we're all more alike than we are different. Everybody wants to be loved. They want a great time. They want to be understood, regardless of cultural differences, language barriers. And I think I learned about myself more and more with this tour that I'm adequate enough. You know, we're all given great gifts, and they're assigned to people. And all of us were assigned to impact these people with our gifts.
It's about consideration and thinking of other people. It's about being a team and coming together to make for one great show.
So with this tour, with it being a first for a lot of us, we finally had to realize that all of us are here for the common goal. We're all a family. It could have been anybody else on that stage playing drums. It could have been somebody else that they called. But it's the fact they have more faith in me than I did in myself sometimes.
One of the things that I learned about tour life in general is that you will have to adjust in situations. Things might not go as planned, but you have to think quick on your feet, and you have to be willing and have an open mind to just go with the flow. And I think that God put me in this predicament to learn how to control what I can control and let the rest be. Faith has played a huge role in my life. I know specifically before this tour, I was going through a little phase where I was wanting to make sure that this is exactly what I want to do. And I think that every time we hit the stage, God reassured that for me. There were times right before I got on stage that I might have been tired or exhausted or under the weather. But as soon as the music would play and I just saw the light that sparked in the eyes of the crowd, I think that reassured again for me that this is exactly what I need to be doing.
How did we get here? I mean, how does a kid from Charlotte, North Carolina, church boy, how does he wind up on the other side of the planet with 2,000 people in the audience singing his song, and they aren't even American? How does this happen? Yo, when I think about it right now, I'm still like, yo, God is crazy. And God is dope. And there are certain blessings in your life that when you look at them, you honestly believe and you know, I have nothing to do with this. This was all God. Sometimes you don't understand things and you can't fully appreciate them until you look back at it. Until you look at it in retrospect. And then you begin to see all the dots that God, connected for you. And it's crazy because now I begin to see the dots in my life and how these moments led to this moment, led to where I am right this very second. As I look at where I am right now, and I just can't help but think how far I've come. And in looking at that, I can't help but just be grateful for my beginnings. So, I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm an 80s baby, and blessed to have both my parents in the household. I'm a junior, so my dad is Dennis Sr., my mom, Jerry Reed, and I have an older sister, Makisha Reed, and they raised me in church, and both my mom and my dad, deacon and deaconess, growing up in the Baptist church, and both were involved in the choir, so they would drag me to choir rehearsal, even though they didn't have to convince me that much, because at an early age, I was just attracted to music. My mom said that even when I was in the crib as a baby, like, that I would be pretending like to play the piano. And I guess that just kind of always stuck with me. So being in choir rehearsals with them, listening to my mom sing, and watching the musicians, that kind of put me in a position to do what I'm doing right now. And I started teaching and working with singers and musicians probably around the age of like 10 or 11. And my mom said, as a toddler, I would stand in the pews and I would tell people to move out the way because I can't see the musicians. I can't see the director. So it played a big role in the career path that I've had, because ever since I started working with singers and musicians and playing for churches, I've never had any other job in my life. My life has been full of music.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is a mic check. Testing 1, 2. Sound